What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade coming to y'all with that instant reaction to Mike Malone getting fired by the Denver Nuggets, with what I think is 3 games left in the regular season, and Calvin Booth, their general manager, getting the hammer also. Although the Denver Nuggets right now sit at fourth in the Western Conference, they have won 47 games and lost 32 as the recording of this video, which is always going to be considered a successful season if they end in the top four, because you get home court advantage and your team is healthy and you have one of the best players, if not the best player in the NBA, in Nikola Jokic. And I did agree with a lot of people saying that, well, this roster ain't good enough to win a championship. I think we can all agree on that. And I think that's just going to be something that's true. But people say, can Calvin Booth have done more? It's crazy because Michael Porter wanted to get paid, Jamal Murray wanted to get paid, Aaron Gordon wanted to get paid. Obviously, Jokic was able to get the super max, and he delivered getting MVPs in a championship. So it makes sense for him to make that type of money because he's proven it this year with a triple double, basically on a daily night. And I just think it's crazy to see this happen this late in the season. I think this is why most people are going to be shocked, is because the season is basically over and you're getting rid of one of the better coaches. Now, he has had some criticism as a coach. Some people feel like he hasn't done enough. Some people feel like he doesn't use his roster enough. Some people feel like he's highly using his starters to be able to win games. And there's nothing wrong with that, because you got to win games. That's part of being a coach. That's what you have to do. And if that's the best way to do it, and go ahead and do it. But also, they get mad at him for not using his young players enough. They have to prove it. They have to earn it. I think that that's fair. If he's still going, it's old school. But if you don't go on with that mentality, it's fair. If you're not good enough, you're not helping us win, you're not contributing to winning, we can't put you on the court because we have guys that's already doing that. That's part of doing my job the right way, because my goal is to win games just as the organization wants me to do that. Same with the GM. You put this roster together for me to be able to figure out what works and what doesn't work, and then I'm left with the rest that does, so I can be able to get the wins. And he does that this year. Coach Malone has really helped this team mature. He has really helped this team find their identity. He gave them a style of play. He gave them, some peace, because they was able to achieve the ultimate goal, which was winning the championship. But I think at the end of the day, it is going to be looked at like, did they rush this decision? Did they force this decision? Now, I did hear that it was some toxic situations going on in, the Denver areas when it's behind the scene. I can see that players probably had enough of Mike Malone to a certain extent. And I also can see why some players be frustrated because they're not really getting playing time or opportunity. But you also see frustration because Calvin Booth feel like he put the best roster that he can put out this year, and people saying that he gave this year a pass. If we don't win the championship this year, is cool. We're not going to win it every year. Our goal shouldn't to be prioritized and winning it every year. That made people look at him different. People didn't like that. They feel like you should be trying to maximize as much of a window as you have to be able to win championships, and that's all you should be focusing on doing, is putting the best roster, if not better, on the court, and let the coach take care of the rest. But they never could see eye to eye. They never was really on the same page. And if you can't have that, then you know that these guys aren't for you. If you're an organization, or the owner, I should say, because you want to build a healthy area for your players to grow and be able to play and be able to accomplish their goals along with the coaching staff. If you can't really do that, and you feeling like these two guys are not able to do that, even if they're not together, then it is the right decision to get rid of them. But the timing, I agree with a lot of people, is a little off. I mean, you wait till the season is basically over. You don't really know how good of a run as you're going to go on, and I don't think that Coach Malone is detrimental, unless they wouldn't be winning games, and he wouldn't be having the respect of the team, in the locker room. I don't really know all the other things that's happened that's going to come out eventually, if it's really positive or negative. But Coach Malone, not the perfect coach. He's not going to do everything perfect. Nobody does that. but you still have to hold him accountable for being respectful. You still have to hold him accountable for the job that he's doing. And I feel like this season was another good season for the Denver Nuggets. But at the end of the day, when you have Nikola Jokic, you have expectations to be able to win championships. If you're not winning championships with a guy this good, then you're going backwards. If you're going backwards, you're not doing your job the right way. And it does start with Calvin Booth putting the roster together and feeling that this is as good as we can get. We have to have some lower salary guys that can come in and contribute and play at a high level to help us win basketball games, as long as we have the veterans with them, like a Russ, like a Jokic, like a Jamal Murray on this roster to guide them and help them fit seamlessly to help us be able to win games, at the end of the day. So I like that mentality. It just didn't really work out this year. We don't really know what they're going to do in the playoffs, but they have had one of the better runs with these two guys playing it and having these games done together. It just wasn't able to last as long as we thought that it would. Nobody, woke up today thinking Mike Malone out of any coaches will be getting fired, and especially when they get rid of the GM too. This is a situation that rarely, if anything, never really happens when they get rid of both of them at this point of the season. But it just shows you that teams are talking differently. They're going about things differently. They're handling things differently. Because we just seen Taylor Jenkins get fired not that long ago, and they moved on quickly. And then you don't even hear nothing about it. You don't even see nothing about it anymore. And it just shows you that you're replaceable. And I want to see who they are going to hire as a coach, not the interim coach, but the regular head coach, because there's not too many old ones out there that you'll really want. I think they're a little burnt out. I think that they're not really thriving in the modern NBA. That's why you see a lot of newer head coaches and a lot of younger head coaches getting the positions and getting the chances. And I think that since the Nuggets are still, pseudo young, it makes sense to try to go in that direction too if they can. You don't want an old school coach trying to find a way to fit in and try to find a way to break some of these guys from their habits when they're being successful already in the league as players, as individuals, and as team players. So I think that's another thing to look at it when you're evaluating the different Nuggets in the future, because they got Jokic locked up. He's not going nowhere unless he comes out of nowhere and demands a trade. But his contract is very tough to trade, even though a team will try to do whatever they can to get a player of his talent and caliber as quick as they could, because he's just that good of a player. And he's showing that with his roster. They have no all NBA player besides him, no all-star player besides him. They do have a decent supporting cast when it comes to playing and fit. And you got to give them credit for that. But that roster was already intact before Calvin Booth got there. So you can't give him too much credit. You just got to give him credit for keeping it together and trying to add a little bit of amount of pieces around Jokic as you can to fit that price line to stay under the luxury tax, because that's what the organization is going to want you to do also. And I think he did that. But if you're not doing your job the right way when it comes to relationships, it's just not a good look. You have to be doing it together. You all have to be in it together. You all have to be doing it the right way to the best of your ability. And y'all have to trust each other. Y'all have to find a way to communicate with each other to get the goal and get the plans done. If you can't do that, then you're in a situation where you're detrimental to everything that's happening and nothing is going to progress forward in the right way. And that's why I don't really see this being a bad move if that's what's really occurring. But other than that, people been saying that things wasn't really good since September. And if that's the case, then the writing was on the wall. We just had to see how big it was going to get and how much it was going to blow up, if anything. And David Alderman will be the intern head coach for the rest of the season in the playoffs. So that's going to be somebody that's familiar. That's going to be somebody they understand. That's going to be somebody they like enough and respect enough to try to go into the playoffs and try to go into the end of the season, with him to still be able to feel confident that they have enough to be able to win, even though it's a little bit lackadaisical way to look at it. But other than that, I like what they're doing. Like Denver has been an organization that's been quiet. They haven't really had too much success. They haven't really, did that much of being a championship team for a long period of time. The Jokic era is going to be their best shot of winning multiple NBA titles. They have to put that forward. They have to go, as hard as they can to get as much talent as they can that fits and really maximize Jokic and his potential as a player, while he can also benefit them too. And as long as they have that in the back of their head, they still going to be in it. Like I said, they're fourth this year, and this is probably one of their worst rosters. Not saying that it's a terrible team, but that's how much talent you was able to get before that supermax kicked in. And this is what you have to work with even in the future. But if you can't find nothing better, this is going to be the lineup you're going to keep throwing out there. But they're young enough to understand that they're paid already, they're secure already. And if it's a better option out there, you have to go out there and take it as quick as you can, because Jokic is only getting older. He's getting a little beat up now, and you don't heal the same, you don't recover the same as you continue to get over. And since he's still dominating and still playing at a high level, you want that to be as much of a priority as it can be. And that's something that they dissed Calvin Booth on. And Mike Malone was very stubborn. He was very mind made up, narrow minded, as some people call it, on how he wanted this team to run, how he wanted this team to function. And he felt like he was doing the best job to get them wins. And the numbers are there, when it comes to the record. But they said Jokic a couple games and they didn't turn out very well for their record. So I don't really see them possibly winning 50. And if they do win 50, it's not the greatest accomplishment, because we look at it like y'all should be only focusing on winning championships with Nikola Jokic and nothing else. And that's really how it's going to be. If the GM can't focus on doing that and doing it the right way, even throwing communication with everybody that's in this together is how the mentality should be, then him and Mike Malone should go. And Mike Malone can't get the best out of his roster, he can't get them playing the way they need to play each and every night, even in the playoffs, then he's not doing the job the right way, is the way they're going to look at it. And if he can't communicate with the guy that's putting a team together for him to be able to win with, then he doesn't deserve the job, because we need you to do that with anybody that's going to be a coach. And if you can't do that, then we have to replace you with somebody that can, because communication is key to success. Just remember that. Other than that, comment, like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell for more analysis. And if you're new to the channel, I do conversation videos just like this about various different NBA-only topics. Also do breakdowns with real footage of legends, current legends, rookies, and also future stars. Also do draft coverage and mock drafts too. So if you love that type of content, I got over 3,000 videos already on my channel that you can check out and see if you want to become a fan or a subscriber. Not only that, I also will say I got my social medias on my channel that y'all can check out too. If y'all want to see some other things I do besides NBA-only content on this channel, I also have my email. If you don't want to leave a comment or you don't want to message me on social media, you can message me on my email directly. Other than that, hope you guys are enjoying your day. Hope you all are staying blessed. Thank y'all for appreciating the content for what it is. Let's continue to try to make 2025 better than 2015. I'm trying to one up myself and see if I can do it better. We're having a great 4 months. Let's continue that through the rest of the year as much as we can. And thank y'all for continuing to support me any way that you guys do, and continuing to come back and see what your boy Quinn has to say about the popular NBA topics, game, playoffs, and whatever it could be. I need you guys to continue to support that to the best of ability, so I can continue to stay successful in my dreams and my goals. And I want you guys to set dreams and goals too, and try to reach them. That makes you more happier. It gives you something to focus on, something to live for. And all I can ask you guys is to have the same thing that you gave me. And that's the 50/50 Weather channel. It's so successful is because you guys continue to watch, you continue to enjoy what I put out. And as a person that wants to be a content creator, is nothing better than creating something that people love and enjoy. And that's one thing that keeps me happy, is you guys. Other than that, peace out, love y'all, and I'll be back with more analysis. My Celtics playing right now, so I'll be back to give y'all my analysis on that and so much other things tonight and throughout the rest of the year. Peace out. Enjoy y'all day.